Meditation, a spiritual passage. Meditation is the silent pilgrimage of the soul, a sacred inward journey where the mind loosens its knots, the heart releases its weight, and the spirit remembers its original rhythm. It is not merely the act of sitting still. It is the art of listening to the breath, to the spaces between thoughts, to the subtle whisper of the inner self. Meditation is the bridge between the restless surface of life and the still depths of one's own being, where peace is not created but revealed. Through meditation, a person learns to witness rather than wrestle, to surrender rather than suppress, and to rise rather than run. The Tale of Aaron, a journey through the spiritual strings. Aaron was a man whose mind had become a crowded marketplace. Thoughts clattered like restless vendors, each shouting for his attention. Some cried fears, others whispered doubts, and many paraded old memories dressed as new worries. Every morning, Aaron awoke with the vague heaviness of dreams that didn't belong to him, and every night he closed his eyes only to reopen the doors to another swarm of tangled thoughts. His life was a constant hum, neither loud enough to break him nor soft enough to let him rest. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day filled with mistakes and misunderstandings, Aaron walked aimlessly through his town's old streets. His mind was buzzing so intensely that he barely noticed the bright lights around him. The world felt blurred, like everything outside him was painted in motion while he himself stood still. He passed a small, quiet temple, barely more than a stone hut with a dia flickering at its entrance. Drawn to the stillness inside, he stepped in. A gentle scent of sandalwood filled the air. At the far end, an elderly monk sat cross-legged, eyes resting halfway open, as if watching both the world within and the world outside at the same time. Aaron did not want to disturb him, but somehow the monk sensed his presence. "You look like someone carrying too many voices in one mind," the monk said softly, still unmoving. Aaron swallowed. "I don't know how to quiet them." The monk smiled faintly, then stopped trying to silence them. Instead, learn to sit with them. Confused but curious, Aaron sat down. "How do I do that?" "Through meditation," the monk said. "Meditation is not escape. It is returning to yourself." Aaron spent the next hour listening as the monk explained. Meditation, he learned, was the art of watching thoughts rise, float, and fall like clouds crossing an endless inner sky, watching the breath as it came and went like the tide, watching himself without judgment. That night, something shifted in Aaron. A seed, perhaps hope, perhaps surrender, quietly took root. The first step inward. The next morning, Aaron woke before sunrise. The world was still, but his mind wasn't. His thoughts returned immediately, swirling, demanding, questioning. But this time, he remembered the monk's words. So he sat on the floor, back straight, eyes gently closed. At first, it felt unbearable. His thoughts seemed louder in the silence. They rushed toward him like children desperate for attention. His mind replayed past mistakes, worried about unfinished tasks, invented future conflicts. He wanted to give up. Then he remembered, watch them, do nothing. So he watched. Minutes felt like hours, but slowly, something remarkable happened. The thoughts didn't stop, but they loosened. Instead of crashing into him, they passed by him. He was not drowning in them anymore. He was simply noticing first time in years, he felt a breath that was entirely his. Days turned into practice. Days passed. Aaron continued meditating every morning. Some days were peaceful, others were storms. But the storms no longer terrified him. Meditation taught him to see the difference between the mind's noise and the soul's voice. He began to understand that the mind, like a river, is meant to flow. Trouble arises only when one tries to dam it with resistance. By allowing thoughts to flow freely, they gradually cleared. The river became transparent. As his inner world shifted, the outer world responded. He noticed he was calmer during conversations, kinder even in moments of frustration, and clearer when making decisions. The people around him felt this change. His words became softer, his presence more grounded. Meditation was no longer something he did. It was something he lived, a journey beyond thought. One evening, after weeks of practice, Aaron sat to meditate as usual. But this time, something felt different. The day had been long, but his heart was light. His breath deepened easily, like it had been waiting for him. As he closed his eyes, thoughts came, but fewer. They rose, acknowledged his presence, and quietly drifted away. Then a stillness, deeper than silence, opened within him. He felt as though he had stepped into a sacred chamber inside himself. He could sense his heartbeat, not as a physical rhythm, but as a vibration of life. He could feel the breath entering him like an ancient blessing. He could sense a vastness behind his thoughts, a space untouched by worry or desire. For the first time, he understood. He was more than his thoughts, more than his fears, more than his past. He was the sky, and the thoughts were mere clouds. In that moment, something gentle and luminous unfolded in him, a feeling that was not happiness, for happiness comes and goes, but peace, which simply is, a peace that was both empty and overflowing. Aaron did not try to hold on to it. He simply rested in it, letting it fill him like light fills a room at dawn, becoming the still point. Weeks turned into months. Aaron continued his spiritual journey, discovering meditation not just as a practice, but as a companion. He learned that the soul has its own language made of silence. He learned that the body becomes lighter when the mind stops carrying unnecessary burdens. He learned that clarity is not the absence of thoughts, but the ability to see through them. Meditation became the thread that stitched his spirit, mind, and body together. A spiritual string reconnecting him to the person he had always been beneath the noise. A return to the world. One morning, he returned to the old temple. The monk was there, as serene as ever. Aaron bowed and said, "I think I understand now. Meditation doesn't change life. It changes the one who lives it." The monk nodded, and when the one who lives it changes, life follows. Aaron smiled, a smile that came from somewhere deeper than the lips. As he walked out of the temple, the world looked the same, yet entirely different. The streets were still noisy, people were still busy, and the day still carried its usual demands. But inside him, a quiet center glowed, steady, constant, unshaken. His mind was still a river, but now he walked beside it, not within it. And thus, Aaron's journey continued, not upward or outward, but inward, where the true pilgrimage of the soul forever unfolds.